God save our gracious Queen.
God.
Long live our glorious Queen. God save the Queen.
Oh, jeez, I can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that Kerry and I join you today on Training Thursday.
Half an hour afterwards.
Half an hour after
oh boy.
seeing the news that Queen Elizabeth II has passed away.
Indeed.
Kerry and I have strong feelings, but we will discuss our featured course first.
Let's do that before I start crying again.
The worst possible segue of all,
jeez.
but this is an important course for our
Yes.
members. Well, frankly, for anyone
everybody.
In the construction industry. The Trudeau government is opening the coffers. They want to pay companies to hire apprentices. We want you to get some of that money. You're going to hire these apprentices anyways.
Exactly.
You're going to train them anyways.
May as well get some money for it.
We'll get a $10,000 check from the federal
Exactly.
government for it. So
Exactly.
tell us about the webinar we have explaining the program.
Yes, so it's going to be September the 13th, 10 o'clock Pacific time. You're going to learn about the Government of Canada's Canadian Apprenticeship Service. I keep tripping over that whole thing because it's going to provide a range of supports in addition to the grant that Jordan just mentioned. To the expert trainers.
It's about the grant.
It's totally about the grant. So employers with less than 500 paid employees are eligible for $5,000 or $10,000 grants to offset the costs of training and hiring first-year apprentices in 39 of the red seal trades. Note that it is a red seal trade, which most of them are, but there are a few trades that aren't. Unfortunately, as far as we know, that's not applicable. Okay. But there's very few that are not red seal trades, so you're probably okay. So our little webinar on the 13th, you can learn more about the application process and how to access this funding. We want you to take advantage of it, please.
Look at it this way. It's going to be like a 45-minute webinar that could net you $10,000 per apprentice hired. So the ROI on this is very, very good. Frankly, ICBA members, CIBP members of the Construction Industry Benefit Plan, you have a really amazing opportunity here because not only will Kerry manage your apprentices and do the paperwork for you, and not only will those apprentices receive $1,500 in bursaries from ICBA throughout their four-level, as they graduate the 4 different levels in the Red Seal trade, you can then apply for the $5,000 to $10,000 grant as well from the federal government. So this is a pretty sweet deal for those folks.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And as Jordan kind of slid in there, we got new bursary amounts that we announced this week. Yep. So those are rolling out to our CIBP apprentices.
Basically doubled our bursary amounts.
Yeah. So we're super excited. It's been a good apprenticeship week for us.
Yeah, exactly. So just to be clear what happens there, come to the webinar no matter what. Sign up for it at icba.ca/apprentice grants. Yep. That'll take you directly to the webinar or the button below. Sign up for that, learn more about the program. But you can also reach out to Kerry at Kerry, Kerry, at icba.ca. She can help you with setting up apprentices and all that good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. I'm always happy to talk about that. That is my favorite topic here at ICBA.
Yes, honestly, it's kind of a wild program. Like, there's a fiscal conservative side of me that's like, I'm not sure this is where I would put the money, but the federal government's doing it, so you might as well collect it.
Exactly.
So I want to see it go to good companies.
Take the money.
Good companies who are hiring apprentices. So let's get out there and get that.
Exactly.
So that webinar again, September the 13th.
Yep.
We already have 70 folks signed up for it. So 70 different companies. So that's big news. Obviously, this is going to be a very popular program. The money is finite; it doesn't exist forever, and it's not a never-ending pool of money. So you want to be well prepared, so that as soon as you have that apprentice in place, you can get that grant and get back some of that cash. So the 13th, icba.ca/apprentice grants.
I believe the application process for this grant does open at the end of next week or early the week after. So. Definitely come to this webinar because it'll be very quickly after that where you have to start applying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that is great stuff.
Yes.
And anything that encourages more apprentices in Canada and British Columbia specifically, we're all in for.
It's true.
Would this be, so if we had a Saskatchewan company watching, could they, I guess they come to the webinar?
So yes, you can come to the webinar. It would be probably a different process. They literally just released this a couple days ago, so we don't know the entire process around it, which is why we will also be attending this webinar.
That's right.
But yes, there's organizations throughout Canada who've been approved for this funding, including some of our ones here in BC, some in various other provinces. Yeah. So no matter where you are, you can apply for this funding. I just don't know the process for it.
And we should shout is it the Canadian Apprenticeship Forum?
Yes.
And Build Forest Canada for helping us with this. They are the experts, and we are happy to connect them with our members and get some cash in your pockets. Okay. Kerry,
Yes.
the Queen has passed away.
Ugh.
I fear that at ICBA, you and I might be the two largest royalists here in the building.
Probably. I know Allie's also very sad, our
Yeah.
training manager. But yeah, I was on social media this morning, like I usually am, and kind of saw that they were all rushing to Balmoral to her side, and I was like, oh, it's coming. And then I actually saw the tweet and started crying. I'm not gonna lie, but it's very, very sad. No matter what you feel about the monarchy, this is still someone's mother, grandmother, great grandmother, and she's been around for as long as my parents have been alive. So it's very sad, and it's the only queen that we will ever have, because the next two are kings. Obviously, next three are kings with George.
Not me. I'm going to live forever.
So obviously, but yeah.
You know, what it comes down to is there's so few constants anymore in public life.
Yes.
You know, prime ministers changed. I think she had 15 different prime ministers. I think
Something like that.
Liz
it was
Truss,
actually
who
crazy.
was sworn in 2 days ago, was her 15th prime minister.
I think you're right.
You know, she started with Winston Churchill.
Yep.
And that feels like a long time, but it's 80 years ago, right? Like it's
exactly.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's so few constants, and there's a connection there for me. My grandparents loved the Queen. She was from their generation.
Yeah.
They remembered the war.
Absolutely.
They remembered
Same with my
you know,
grandma.
how important her dad was and how important that she was, and the kind of new face she gave the monarchy in the late 40s and early, especially in the 50s when she was when she took power,
queen.
when she was coronated. Are you coronated? I think so.
I don't really know if that's the right
so.
word, but the coronation. But I just don't know. If
And
that's
so
the
you know, I feel like it's like another. You know, my grandfather passed away a few years ago. My grandmother has pretty severe dementia, and you know, and I just feel like it's another tie to them severed, right? Like it's
I
bizarre.
can see that.
It's bizarre how you feel that kind of personal connection to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw her in person at Expo 86.
Nice.
Yeah, my grandparents took me. We waited in line, and she came by, and you know,
I love
and
it. That's cute.
Like that's 40 years ago. Wow, pretty close. 36
Not
years
quite,
ago.
36 years
You know,
ago,
like
yeah.
that's pretty amazing. And even then, you're like, oh, she's an old lady. Like this could.
Exactly.
You know, but you know, grateful to her for you know what she did. That stability. You know, there's lots of people who are like, oh, Canada should be a republic. I'll just say, how's it working out for the States?
Right?
How are you enjoying that?
See how that's
Basically,
going?
you make your presidents into kings and queens for 8 years. Well, just kings. We haven't any queens yet as presidents of the United States,
That's
but
true.
someday. You know, I'm not the world's biggest Charles fan, but he's our king now, and long live the king.
I guess we're going to be getting new money, new stamps.
It's crazy, like new money.
Nicola and I, our education program manager, were just quickly chatting on Teams because she was like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm crying in the bathroom. Anyway, and I said, yeah, like we're going to have all of this new stuff that we didn't really even consider. And I think that's also part of it too, is that it's just, that's what it is. Our money has the Queen on it.
Yeah.
Our stamps have the Queen on it.
Yeah.
Like things like that, it just, even if you don't like it, it's just such a part of Canadian life or anywhere else in the Commonwealth, like Nicola's from New Zealand. And so similar situation, it's just, that she just was here and she was cute with her corgis and she was in the James Bond thing at the beginning of the London Olympics. And it's just things like that.
She had a peanut butter sandwich with Paddington.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Or it was
that
a honey sandwich,
so
whatever
cute.
it was.
I think it was
cute.
a honey sandwich, but it was so cute.
Yeah.
But it's things like that, and it's just, it's very sad. No matter how you feel about the monarchy, this is still a person who did some amazing things for Britain and for the world in general, and it's gonna be sad. I have to stay off Instagram, I think, for the next day or so.
So tonight, take a moment, give thanks for the Queen.
Go hug your grandparents.
Yes, and we'll be back next week with another
We will.
Training Thursday.